add charge to the universe or take it away, it's the same amount.
Give and
So
take away.
It's not
No.
going to disappear. All right. The rest of our day, you can start writing these down. I think everything you need is up here. We're studying electrostatics. It's the study of electric charges at rest. And negative charge, there's more electrons.
Before math starts, can
You
help
can't
us
tell
out
from
for
my picture now, but more electrons than protons. And on the positive charge, it's less electrons than protons. And we just had drawn that, but you can't tell. And like charges repel, unlike charges attract, and we already demoed that with our balloons. The rest of the day, we're going to look at an electroscope. And an electroscope is an apparatus. And we'll go over what should happen. So here's what should happen as we set up our demo electroscope. Electroscope is an apparatus, it detects charge. And there's all kinds of them. The one I'm going to draw on the board is what I'll probably use if this fails tomorrow. I will use this one. So the basics is a wire. Say you have a jar and a lid with a slit and the wire, and it comes down inside of the jar. And this is all a wire. So I'll do the wire in yellow. And here's the wire. This is in a jar. And hanging from the wire is a piece of tin foil, not tin, aluminum foil.
We did this before.
Yeah, you've done it before, I'm sure.
Really?
All right, so that's
In
a
chemistry.
crude electroscope.
Huh.
Now, what we have with us is pith balls. Those are tiny little balls that easily charge. So the little round, almost like styrofoam balls, that's probably what they are, on strings. So we're going to do it without the aluminum foil, we're going to do it with the pith. So, but here's what the scenario should look like. We're going to learn about charging, and one of the kinds of charging is if we charge, so take a few more notes before I show you the lab. And Alex, when you get that down, I need to erase.
Okay.
Charge by conduction. There's two ways. Charge by conduction. And we're going to see that with our electroscope. So you need to know what conduction is. So that's changing an object's charge by contacting an object with a charge. So change the object's charge by contact with a charged object. So when Zach used conduction, he changed the object's charge, the balloons, by contact with his head of the charged object. After he rubbed it, it was a charged object. Charged by conduction. And do you know what the other way to charge is? If you've heard of these things before, do you know what the other way is? Conduction and what? Induction. Very good.
Oh, that's where I thought
Yeah,
the
you were
word was.
close.
Yeah.
Charge by induction. And charge by induction is changing an object's charge also, but it's you do it a different way. So it's change the object's charge.
Our interpreters don't
Again.
remember to turn change and charge. Yeah, like the same.
Change the object's charge by, this time, instead of touching it, we're going to change the object's charge by forcing some of its charge to leave, but there's no contact. So we'll see how we can do that. Change the object's charge by forcing some charge to believe, and that is with no contact. So there's contact with conduction, no contact with induction. All right. I think that's our basic definitions, introductory definitions. So, all right, so we'll finish up with trying to display the electroscope. Let me give you what I expect to happen, and then if it fails, we'll try this again tomorrow. Maybe it'll be sunnier, and we will have tin foil in a jar. So hopefully the pith works and we don't have to do it twice, but you know us. All right,
We're not the best at labs.
see my tissues, board tissues. Okay,
I think they're in the other room.
There's
really I had two going. So I'll try a regular stoop.
Stoop to the level of
What
regular
a-
tissues.
What low I've come to. Alright. Still work better than the erasers. Alright, Alex, how far have you gotten?
I've got everything from the right side
Okay.
away.
Alright, I think you leave me enough room here to work. Alright, so initially, I'm gonna abbreviate the drawing. So if you would sketch these as well, so something like that, that's our electroscope. And we have the tin foil hanging here. So initially, it's all gonna be plus minus, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus. So it's electrically uncharged. It has no net charge. So what will the tin foil do when they have no net charge? It'll just hang straight. So if we're using pit bulls, if we're using pith balls, they should hang straight as well. I have my doubts. I haven't used these before, so we'll see. All right, so that makes sense. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take the electroscope, and guess what? We're gonna bring to it a charged balloon. So we have a negatively charged balloon from rubbing in someone's hair, and it's gonna come near, but it's not gonna touch. So when that happens, I'll over exaggerate this for display purposes, and the negative charges that were here are going to be repelled down into the leaves. So these will still have some plus, but it'll have more negatives. So I'm over exaggerating the picture. There's still gonna be some negatives up here, but just to emphasize what's happening. So now, what do you think is gonna happen to the aluminum foil? If this is negative and this is negative,
I don't know.
they're gonna go apart. Alright, so the pith balls should go apart as well. Then, we're going to dramatically remove the balloon. Can you take all this drama? We're
No.
ripping off tape and, alright, remove the balloon, and when that balloon is gone, those negative charges are just gonna go back where they were, and it should be hanging straight again. So it'll be just like this one, repeated. So I won't redraw that, I'll just put a little star there. Same scenario as the first one. Alright? Then we will take, and this is probably all we get to, what time did we get out of here today?
10 more minutes.
Okay, good, we can do one, I think. If not, we can get used to the materials. Alright, then we are going to take the apparatus, which is normally charged, and we are going to touch it with the charged balloon. So, charged balloon actually touches this time. It's this one, it was near, so I even write the word near so you recognize it wasn't touched. Here, touch. So, when we touch the balloon, will anything different happen to the charges? We've got pluses, and all the negatives will flow back down to the bottom. There'll be some mixture, but mostly negative to the bottom, so they'll go apart. So what's the difference? The difference is when we remove the balloon, and we will show you what happens. I won't reveal that. I won't reveal that. Okay. No, all right. All right, so if you would, let's just have, Zach, could you sit over here with Alex? Just have two tables doing this. So you can just, we're just gonna try it together and I'll try it up front.
You want to
All
record
right, we can
this?
turn off and when we have this working, we'll bring it back up. So see you in a few.